Hi there. This video is about letter writing campaigns for the debates to get Jill Stein and Ajamu in the debates. There's three presidential debates and then one presidential debate. And as we've seen over this past weekend with issues of environmental racism, the fossil fuel industry, corporate overreach, the indigenous population, how we treat each other, how we treat our water. These issues are of importance. They're central to the Green Party platform. And of course, they want to bring those issues to a larger audience through the debates and then confront other presidential candidates who lean towards corporate friendliness and people unfriendliness. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Gary Johnson, they're corporate friendly. The Green Party is people friendly. They put people first, people over profits, people, planet, profits, people and planet over profits. And so there's a need to get the Green Party platform, the progressive view, the people friendly view into the debates, into the public discussion. And so a letter has gone out from the Green Party campaign. They want to get Jill Stein in debate. And there's less than a month before the first debate starts. The first one is September 26th at Hofstra University on Long Island, New York. And so there's a problem with the polling because the Green Party is not always included in the polling. And then they also don't get media access, equal media access. Trump has received billions of dollars worth of free advertising from the media, while Jill Stein has to pay for hers. So that's not, what we would consider equal access, I don't think. Hillary Clinton has gotten her media access, and then Bernie Sanders even got some, but it still wasn't quite equal. And so therefore the polling's not equal as well. So Jill Stein definitely wants us who want to see intelligent discussion on many issues, not just campaign slogans and insults. She's saying that September 9th, which is this Friday, is basically the deadline to get letters to the editor, letters to magazines, letters to radio stations, and other media outlets to talk about getting Jill Stein into debate. And so she's got some points that you can use when you're writing your letters. The more letters you write, and I'll say this real quickly before I get into it, but letter writing is really important. And this is like snail mail kind of letter, but then also emails as well. Sometimes you can just copy paste your text and do a little fiddling and then send it by email. And then some media outlets, there's a form where you just fill in and you can just copy and paste your letter in there. So there's several ways that you can communicate. But they're saying that the key thing with letter writing is it reaches people who do not have internet access or who prefer to get their news by newspaper or magazine or other print publications. And by using your letter to the editor, that's how you'll alert them that there's actually a third choice in this race, that it's not just Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, Jill Stein and the Green Party, and you can use your letter to alert people that there's a third party in the race. Actually, more than one, but this focuses on Jill Stein. And so she's actually got a guide on her website that you can use. I'll post a link in the description. But basically, they're wanting to cover several talking points about getting Jill Stein and Ajamu in the presidential debate. So they're saying that you should emphasize the free exchange of ideas and an informed public, which make a real democracy. She's saying that viewers and voters should have the opportunity to see all the candidates on the ballot. And she's saying that the right to vote means little unless we know who we can vote for. And the presidential debates basically should consist of all candidates who are on enough ballots to be able to win the presidency. In 2016, that would mean 4 candidates, and that includes Clinton, Trump, Jill Stein, and Gary Johnson. And she's also saying that the Commission on Presidential Debates is actually a corporation. It's not a government body or even a nonprofit who's doing a public service. It's a corporate body, it's a corporation, and it's controlled by the Democratic and Republican Party. They are bipartisan. They try to portray themselves as being nonpartisan, but they are bipartisan, meaning that only Democratic and Republican parties are usually invited, and they stifle out independents from the debate. They created the debates to take control of public discussion from an entity that actually was nonpartisan, and that was the League of Women Voters. And so the League of Women Voters called the Commission on Presidential Debates a fraud. And so that's why you had this arbitrary polling requirement, using polls generated by media that even don't always include the candidates, every candidate that's up for voting, particularly the Green Party. And so it's a form of rigging, and we've seen how rigging works several times this election season so far. And so Jill Stein is saying that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton should follow Ronald Reagan's example. Ronald Reagan in 1980 insisted that the independent candidate John Anderson be included. And so when President Carter, the Democratic candidate, refused, it was Reagan who debated Anderson without Carter. So, that's what they're just saying, that's one example. So they're saying that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton could easily be a champion of democracy and strike down the monopoly of the elitist Commission of Presidential Debates. And they actually wrote a letter to Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton asking for a Ronald Reagan approach to debate inclusion, something to improve the discussion in American democracy. And so the letters to the editor that they're hoping to get in by this Friday, they are brilliant pieces of opinion that show the editors of each publication that there's interest in coverage of Jill Stein and Jill Stein's message and her platform and the Green Party. It lets the paper know that the readers of the paper want to hear about Jill Stein, and not only that, they want to see Jill Stein in the debates. It's a way to cause a movement, not only just with the publication's editor, but also the readers of that publication too, who are not reading the internet. So it's another way of reaching people. And so they've got a list of tips here. They've got talking points. And you can even look at some sample letters to the editor. And I'll post this link in the description too, and you can just kind of copy paste what's there and fiddle around and get your text, and then just copy and paste your text into email and send it off. Usually you have to include your name and your address and sometimes your phone number so they know that you're a real person in their newspaper circulation area. But don't be shy about, contacting the LA Times or the New York Times, New York Post, Chicago Tribune, and the paper of your region as well. And so definitely, if you have time, it's a great campaign tool, a great way to spread the message that the people want to see Jill Stein, Ajamu, and issues related to the Green Party on a public stage. Good luck.